this is Allie. Thank you so much for listening to the Hudson Show podcast in 2024. We hope you enjoy these highlights.
If you're planning on playing any board games anytime soon, this is going to be an update that you're happy to hear. Scrabble has updated their dictionary for the first time in 4 years. And what does that mean? It means about 2,000 new words that you're now able to use when you play Scrabble. And of course, many of the words that they've added into the Scrabble dictionary are words that would be considered, modern slang, modern things that you would see on TikTok. Words like floof, grammable, bougie, bougier, bougieist, yeet is in there. So basically, all kinds of new modern slang that is going to confuse your grandma, which it's only fair. She's been playing words like hooskow and no good Nick for years. Finally, you can be the one that plays something that she has no idea what it is. And then when she complains, you can be like, grandma. Says right here, Scrabble Dictionary, floof is a word. That's 32 points, please. One thing that just about everybody knows here in America is you don't mess with bald eagles. Why? Well, 1, they're on the comeback trail from being endangered. 2, they can be fierce predators. And 3, and most importantly, they are the symbol of America. They sum up who we are as a people. And I don't know if you saw this story that just perfectly illustrates why we had to choose bald eagles as the symbol of our great nation. Earlier this week, in Missouri, wildlife officials rescued a bald eagle at Wilson's Creek National Battlefield that they believed was injured. But once they actually examined the bald eagle at a zoo in Springfield, Missouri, they discovered that the eagle was not injured at all. Instead, it had engorged itself on a raccoon and, in fact, was temporarily, is their words, too fat to fly. But once it was given time to digest the raccoon more fully, it was able to take off and return to the wild under its own power. Come on. Is there nothing more American than being unable to do something simple and routine because you overate? That, my friends, is America. Inflation still running rampant, at least in some areas, including the Mega Millions, where officials have just announced that starting in April, the price of a Mega Millions ticket is on the rise. Big time. Right now, it only costs $2 per ticket to play the Mega Millions. Starting in April, going all the way up to $5. That's a massive increase. Now, they say they are combating that. They're raising the prices, but the idea of raising the prices is will result in improved jackpot odds and allow them to offer bigger prizes overall. And you should have a more likely chance of winning. Oh, why? Because a lot of people can't even afford $5 anymore to play. So your odds have to increase. I mean, this is just actually ridiculous. $5 a ticket to play Mega Millions. What do they think? We just won the lottery or something? How are we supposed to afford this? And this is something fun and new. A double-barreled first in a food fight. First, for the first time ever in a food fight, it's just me and producer Allie. This is exciting.
Yeah.
And then secondly, this is the first time that I know, in my knowledge anyways, that we've ever done a bacon food fight on the Hudson Show. I don't remember, and I think I would remember because when you cook bacon here at the RadioU studios, it makes the entire office smell like bacon, and I don't remember that ever happening before.
Yeah, I have to say, after baking this bacon, there's nothing more in the world that I want to do right now than eat it.
Yeah. And as you've been toiling away, how long has it taken you? We don't have, in our new RadioU studios we moved into a few months ago, we don't have a stove. We don't have an oven. So our choices were microwave, which is not ideal. I've had microwave bacon before, it's fine, but not ideal. Or we have this little toaster oven. And so that's what you went with. But how long did it take to cook this bacon?
So I used the toaster oven and I basically just followed the directions on the package for baking it because I've baked bacon before in the oven and it took a little bit longer to get crispy. It's still not as crispy as I would like it, but I'm happy with it and it looks and smells amazing. But it took me about 35 minutes.
Okay, you know what's crazy? we haven't actually said what this bacon is. It's the new, you can get this at like any grocery store, I think, because that's where we found it. It's the new Cinnamon Toast Crunch Bacon. I think it's made by Hormel, right? Black Label.
Black Label, yep.
And it's got Cinnadust on the bacon. And I think cooking any bacon would make the entire RadioU studio smell like bacon. This smells even better. It smells immaculate. It smells so good. It's honestly worth it. Like, how much is a good candle? Like $7.99. This is about the same price, and I guess it doesn't smell as long, but it smells at least as good.
But you can't eat a candle.
Yeah, believe me, I've tried. So I can't really wait much longer.
Right,
we really do need to try
this out.
Hopefully, it doesn't get everything in the studio greasy.
Right, that's the only bad part about bacon.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no, this is so good.
It just melted away in my mouth. And it's not like a strong Cinnamon Toast Crunch flavor, but you do get it. It's definitely there.
Absolutely. You get the slight taste of cinnamon. I was telling Chris, who works here in the office here at RadioU,
when I was money bags.
Money bags. I was telling money bags when I was making this. I said, this is going to remind me of, just eating bacon with like maple syrup on it. Mm-hmm. It's just the sweet mixed with savory. Mm-hmm. Can't go wrong.
It is kind of like, if you've ever had millionaire's bacon, they call it, or sometimes they have different words, but it was big a couple of years ago. You have to learn in food fights. You can talk with your mouth full, which is what I'm doing. Like millionaire's bacon, they literally like just coat it with brown sugar and then dump maple syrup on it and serve that to you. And then it's like expensive, which is why they call it millionaire's bacon. That's what this tastes like, but it's only like you can just get it at the store and it's not even crazy expensive. I mean, bacon, yeah, one of the more expensive meats, but it's not crazy. This wasn't way more than other bacon. And for the right application, this tastes better than regular bacon. This
is very, very good, I have to say. And I'm talking with my mouth open, with like full, which I'm not used to. I hate doing. Not very ladylike, but whatever.
That's a food fight. You just have to do it.
Right.
It's not a food fight if you don't talk with your mouth full. And this is particularly hard because I can't just take one bite of this bacon.
No, you got to keep eating.
I keep going, and I can't wait until we're done talking. I have to keep eating it now while we're talking. This is I didn't know what my expectations were, but this definitely beats them.
Absolutely. Beats my expectations, and I honestly think I might go to my local store and buy myself a pack to take home.
Yes. Well, the good news is we have a pound, and there's not that many of us here yet, so we can eat a lot of it on our own.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it.
Producer Allie is here. I was going to talk to you. I'm concerned about you.
Oh, no.
I'm concerned because how many days in a row have you eaten popcorn for lunch?
Well, I didn't yesterday, but I probably did 3 days last week.
Yes. So many days. I either smell the popcorn throughout the building or I see the bag sitting out. Yeah, or sometimes you hear it. And I'm concerned because earlier on you said, to make an excuse for yourself, you said, well, I just need to go to the store.
Yeah.
But you've had plenty of time to go to the store.
I have gone to the store.
You just are like, more popcorn, please. I could buy lunch.
No.
The Kirkland bagged popcorn should work.
It's Pop Secret. Thank you very much. No, I have gone to the store, so popcorn for lunch is not happening for a while, at least.
What do we have today?
Today I brought salad with me. Oh, okay. Isn't that so much better?
It's healthier.
Yeah, for sure.
I imagine. Nobody else will smell it probably. So not that that's it's not a big problem. It's just inconsiderate. We're all fine.
Popcorn smells great. What are you talking about?
Great. It does.
It's not like
great.
I burned it or something.
No, it lingers though.
Yeah, it does.
You smell it for several hours, I assume anyways. I'm
so what you're telling me is
I smell it until I leave.
Until you leave, yeah.
And then I go home and I smell like popcorn.
So what you're telling me is I need to bring an extra bag next time.
To share?
To share. Because, the worst part about smelling popcorn is it smells so good and then you just want it. Mm-hmm. And when you can't have it, it sucks.
That's actually leads me to a good question. What is if I do say so myself, the best food to smell? Like when you smell it, you're like just the top food that you just want to eat.
I have to say, fresh bread when it's being cooked smells so good that it makes me want it immediately.
But you don't like bread.
I know. That's the problem. It's like I don't eat bread at all, really, other than I guess if I was getting a sandwich or something. But I just typically don't eat bread.
It's the power of the smell of the bread.
When you walk by a Subway and you're just like, whoa.
That's not where.
I don't want Subway.
That's not what I was thinking was Subway.
But you're like, I don't want Subway at all, but they just made that nice fresh bread and it actually smells really good.
I don't know if Subway's making any fresh bread.
True.
That example. Panera bread.
But yeah.
They do it. I've been in the ovens.
You've been in them?
Yeah. Yes, I did. I've been in the ovens of Panera breads before.
Did you work for Panera?
Yes.
Oh.
No, they just let me back there once.
I know. I was like, what do you mean
Let me see oven inspection. Yeah. I think cinnamon rolls. I think cinnamon rolls is the best answer.
Good choice.
They always smell so good. Well, enjoy your salad today. Congratulations to John Krasinski, who's just been named People's Sexiest Man Alive for 2024. No word when they will reveal their sexiest man dead, but he takes the crown from Patrick Dempsey. Did you remember that Patrick Dempsey had been the sexiest man alive last year?
I did not remember that, but that makes sense because I agree with that.
Oh, you do? Patrick Dempsey. Well, how do you feel about John Krasinski getting the crown now?
I get
Famously Jim and from The Office, and what else is he famous for? Quiet Place.
Quiet Place, yeah. I get it for sure. Like, I can see why people would vote him in, but I won't say that he's as hot as Patrick Dempsey.
I did some research, and by that I mean I asked Mrs. Hudson what she thought.
Oh.
She says, John Krasinski, handsome, not sexy.
Ooh, I think I agree with Mrs. Hudson.
I said, what's the difference? She says, I don't know.
You're right. It's a hard...
He's not sexy.
It's a hard thing to, like, pinpoint that, but when I saw this, I was kind of like, okay, he's somebody I would be like, he's cute, but don't know if I agree with the sexy thing. Patrick Dempsey, though. I'll keep coming back to that point.
It's crazy how, first of all, they name a new sexiest man alive every year. You'd think that either they'd have to they'd constantly be like a rankings, like the college football playoff rankings, where like they constantly updating because some days, some guys are sexier than others. Right. Or like the sexiest man alive would just stay the sexiest man alive, more like a president.
Until he's dead?
Maybe, I don't know. Not like a Supreme Court appointment, but like you just get to be the sexiest man alive for several years because if it's not a daily thing, then over time, like what changed between this year and last year that made John Krasinski sexier than Patrick Dempsey? I'm not sure. But I did ask Mrs. Hudson who she thought is the sexiest man alive. You know what she said?
What?
Me.
Oh
no, she didn't. She didn't say that at all.
Oh,
she said Hugh Jackman.
Ooh, I agree with that.
I said he's so old.
Oh, but did you watch Deadpool and Wolverine?
Yeah, but that's his outfit. It's mostly the outfit. She actually said, speaking of that Ryan Reynolds would be a better sexiest man alive than John Krasinski too.
Yeah, but I would choose Hugh Jackman over Ryan Reynolds.
You want to know who I said should be sexiest man alive?
What did you say?
Me. No, I didn't. I said...
Stop faking me out over here.
I said Ryan Gosling. She said he also not sexy.
Yeah.
I think he's sexy.
I mean, in certain scenes of like certain movies, there's times when I'm like, yeah, he's really cute and really hot or whatever, but
but not really sexy.
But yeah, I don't know if I would count him. I think me and your wife are on the same wavelength.
Similar tastes.
Yep.
It sounds like. Well, congratulations to John Krasinski. And back off, ladies. He is married famously to Emily Blunt. It feels to me that we've been sprinting away from many traditional marriage traditions over the past several years, where the standard wedding that you'd go through bachelorette party, maybe an engagement party, then you have like a wedding in a church and everybody's dressed in nice clothes, and then honeymoon, whatever. That is like more and more we're like, well, how can we switch things up? The latest on the chopping block, the latest classic wedding tradition seems to be the bachelorette party, where at least according to brides.com, many women are now instead choosing to do the what they call the Solorette party instead. Did you come up with that?
No, I did not.
The Solorette party, which instead eschews the idea of partying with a bunch of your gal friends and instead involves you as the bachelorette just going on a solo vacation to try to de-stress, collect your thoughts, and just prepare yourself in that way for getting married instead of the bachelorette party and all that comes with that. What do you think of Solorette versus bachelorette idea?
So I don't inherently think it's a terrible idea. I will say I've had so many fun experiences, not with my own bachelorette party because I'm not married, but going to friends' bachelorette parties. I've had several close friends that have gotten married, and we have such a good time with each other, supporting one another. We don't do a lot of the, I guess, traditional stuff that is considered to be bachelorette party, like going out and partying or something like that.
Throwing up in the streets of Nashville.
We don't really do that type of stuff. We do get our group of friends together that are all from college, and we're all in different places. So it is true that it can get expensive. There's plane tickets involved and all of that. That is absolutely true. So I see the appeal in this because of how expensive bachelorette parties have become. But I do think it's such a vital experience with your friends and with oftentimes your bridesmaids. And so I don't know. I would hate to see it completely go. But what my thought is, why can't we have both of these things?
What do you mean? You want to add another expense for everybody?
No, what I'm thinking is, how awesome would it be for you to have your bachelorette party, maybe a couple weeks before the wedding, and then the weekend before you go on a little solo trip? Because I go on solo trips all the time.
Yeah.
And it is very helpful to help, focus your brain or, clear your thoughts out a little bit, especially if you go out in nature. So I get that aspect a lot, and I do think that's appealing. So especially before your wedding, because weddings are stressful.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I could see how that could be a fun de-stressing thing to do.
You would have to do it if you were going to go that route. You've got to be, as the bachelorette, maybe you arrive a few days early than everybody else. You definitely don't want to be the one staying hey,
late.
I'm having the bachelorette party and then I'm having a Solorette the couple days after. That sounds like you're just going to
kick everybody out.
Yeah, and you're going to be sad. You're going to be like, I remember when we were having fun together.
Oh, yeah.
You're just sitting in your hotel room. Here's my thing. I think, because traditionally, right, bachelorette parties, it's like the wedding party, your guys or your groomsmen or your bridesmaids. They're the ones paying for the trip, right?
Yeah.
Or for whatever the party is.
Yeah.
So for me, if I ever get to be invited to be a best man or groomsman, I should be able to, if I'm paying for your trip and your fun, I should be able to be involved in the fun. You want me to fund you a solo trip? How good of friends do you think we are? How much money do you think I have? I better get some fun out of this too.
My assumption would be if it's a solo trip, the groomsmen or the bridesmaids are not paying for it.
Well, then sure. Then do whatever you want with your own money before your own wedding. Go take and we also have to factor in how much vacation time do we think everybody has?
Right.
You're already taking time off for your wedding and honeymoon and then bachelor, and then now you're adding a solo trip in as well. I see the merit. You know me, I love solo stuff, but I don't know if this is 100% where I think it's the best use of being solo.
Fair enough.
Under no circumstances do you have to hand it to drug smugglers. However, it is impressive how creative they get to try to avoid being detected. I think we could all use a little bit of that mindset, that attitude in our lives. We'd all be a little better at our jobs if we had to be, on top of our game like drug smugglers have to be. Give this guy some credit for creativity. Raj Mathuru, who was recently caught last month trying to fly from LAX to Australia, but his luggage at the airport was flagged for certain irregularities. Upon further examination, it was found that some of the things in his luggage, including a cow pajama onesie, was dried stiff and covered in a white residue. what they found was his clothes, including the cow pajama onesie, had been soaked in meth. Oh. And that was how he was trying to smuggle it through. He's like, cow pajama onesie, normal clothing. Nothing to see here, right? If they see this on the x-ray machine. But apparently it was strange enough that he got caught. Apparently he's now out on a $10,000 bond, but awaiting a trial where he could be sentenced up to 10 years in prison.
Well, deservedly so. Obviously, don't smuggle meth. Not a good thing. But yeah, that is certainly a creative choice to try and get it through via cow costume.
I'm concerned. What do we know about this guy? Does he work for Chick-fil-A?
Oh, come on. That's
Is this the secret that this is what Chick-fil-A, when the cows are saying eat more chicken, how do they get us to eat more chicken? They've been lacing it with a highly addictive substance. And they've been doing this and they've gotten away with it for so long until today, until Raj was finally ratted out.
I'm not even going along with this joke. Meth is no joke. So I'm not even going along with this. This is ridiculous.
I don't know. How else do you explain Chick-fil-A?
It's just good. It's just good. Accept it.
There's nothing in life can just be good. There's always something dangerous about it.
It's just good. So
I think there's more to the cows than we know.
There's more to the cows.
There's more. There's something beneath the surface.
But they don't even serve cows. They serve chicken.
But they have to. They're cows. You know they're not real cows, right?
Yes, I know they're not real cows.
And so they get the cow suits. They transport them around, soaked in meth,
but
and then they ring them out into the chicken breading. And that's how we all just can't get enough Chick-fil-A. Why do you think the lines are so long? Ask me another restaurant that has lines that long. There isn't any.
Yeah, because it's just good, okay?
Because it's dangerous.
No.
It's problematic. No. I think that the cows are behind it.
Well, the cows might be behind its success, but it's not because of methamphetamine.
Meth. The cows and the meth. It's the only explanation. I've seen a lot of people talking about this. The Death Clock app. Mm-hmm. It is now. I feel like I've seen ads for things similar to this going back as long as the internet has existed. But this is an app that's actually kind of taken off. It is an app that uses artificial intelligence and many, many different studies that have been done over the years. And it's added those all in together and uses those. And then the information that you give it about yourself to predict exactly when you will die.
Which it's funny to me that they say it's like, this is the exact time you'll die. And it gives you like this countdown with seconds included and all of that. And yet, if you want to pay, it will give you some ways that you can lengthen that time or, add to your time. So it's like, how exact is this if you can add to it?
Yeah, I feel like that's a gimmick.
Obviously.
I feel like the exact time, and it also tells you the most likely cause of death, which actually I feel is helpful. But can it really predict like if you get hit by a car?
Right. That's the thing. It obviously can't predict tragedy. It can't predict, the unforeseen. But yeah, it's crazy to me that something like this it exists, but also it's not crazy because we do have a culture that's kind of obsessed with staying young and obsessed with, not dying. We're afraid of death and all of that. So
what a crazy thing that we don't want to die.
We don't want to die. We're
our
afraid
culture.
Well, no, I do think it's a part of our culture,
it's true.
Because in other parts of the world, they're not afraid of death. In some places, death is a celebration. And so, yeah, I do think it's not a surprise that this is something where it's like they have to see how they're going to die and how much time they have left. It's like, come on, isn't this a plot of a horror movie? Where you look it up and it gives you your time or whatever.
I think it's literally called Death Clock.
Yeah, something like that, or like Death App or something.
Yeah. So you don't want to do this though?
No.
Oh, I want to do it.
You want to see what's going to kill you?
Out. Yeah. What do you think would kill me?
How am I supposed to know? I'm not this AI.
If an app can predict it, I feel like you're smarter than an app.
I don't know if I'm okay. Well, yeah.
Come on, just give me. What do you think it's going to kill me?
Anything? Come on. I don't know. How am I supposed to know?
Coronary failure.
No. Who knows?
Who knows? This app.
Yeah. Apparently, this app.
I want to test this out. I'm afraid. You know what I'm afraid of? I'm not afraid of how I'll die. I'm afraid of giving this all my information and how it would use that against me.
Exactly. That should be what you're afraid of. And don't give this thing money to tell you how to lengthen your life.
I'm not going to do that.
That's ridiculous.
But it says it needs like your gender. I'm not going to let it know that. Your levels of stress, your family health history, all this kind of stuff.
So basically it's going to it's going to stereotypically analyze you and try and figure out.
It's like a life insurance, except without the life insurance.
Right, except without any insurance. Yes. Oh my goodness. You know what? I say? Don't fear death. And you know one of the reasons I'm changing this. I'm changing the subject here, Hudson.
Yeah.
But there's a reason why I don't fear death. And that's because I have a relationship with God, obviously.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like anyone needs to fear death. And we talk about this all the time, but you should go to radiou.com/free gift to understand why there is no reason to fear death. There's no reason to look up why you're going to die. So I took it to a serious note, but that's because I know there's a lot of people out there that do fear dying and fear aging and all of those things. Those are real fears, but there's really no reason to fear that.
No, you're right. You're definitely right about that. But what if I just want to live longer? It's not that I don't want to die. I don't want to die. It's just that I want to live longer. There's a lot of things to worry about on a first date. What do you think the best food to order on a first date is? Because I have the answer right here.
Oh, I don't know what the best food is. Something easy to eat that isn't messy. So you don't want to get all like disgusting looking while you're...
Definitely not noodles.
Yeah, definitely not something that you have to slurp for sure. So something simple to eat. I also feel like when you go on a first date, you often order something healthier than maybe what you usually would eat. You're kind of like trying to impress somebody.
Yeah.
Like maybe you'll order a smaller portion size than normal. I've heard that a lot of times people will do that when they're on a date. They actually eat less than what they normally would eat. And that also could just be because you're talking more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like it has to be something easy to eat, not messy, and probably healthier than what you usually get.
So I need a specific dish.
Maybe like a chicken salad or something.
Oh, you're on the right track. According to this survey here, the top first date meal, the top entree.
Yeah.
Roast chicken breast.
Oh, yeah. That'd be easy.
Clean, yeah. Pretty, fairly healthy.
Yep.
That was number one. I love number two. And that was like number one by a pretty large margin.
Okay.
Number two was salmon.
Okay, yeah. Salmon's also easy to eat.
Yeah, easy to eat and less likely to get stuck in your teeth, I think, than chicken breast.
True.
If you're worried about that type of thing. And I just like salmon a lot.
Yeah,
so.
And also a healthier dish.
And then the next couple choices were steak and filet mignon. I feel like you're sending a message if you order filet mignon on a first date.
Who's paying for this meal is what I want to know.
Yeah, that's right. If you're the guy, maybe you're trying to like signal like, hey,
order what you want.
I can afford it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wealthy here. I work in finance.
Man in finance.
Also, I found this in the same survey. And I don't know if I realized this, but people overwhelmingly say that on your first date, you want to go to somewhere familiar. You don't want to go to a new restaurant.
Okay.
You want to go to somewhere you've already been before.
Yeah.
I guess just because then you kind of have an idea of what you do want to order. You feel maybe because you've been there, you feel a little more comfortable where at a brand new restaurant, it might be really good, but you're getting your bearings and you've already got enough on your mind. So
yeah, might not be as comfortable of a situation if you're not only getting used to the person that you're on a date with for the first time, but also a new environment. But I have been on dates where I've not only am I meeting this person for the first time in person, but also I have not been to that restaurant before. And I've never been like, this is a terrible, date or whatever, because I've never been to this, restaurant.
The restaurant should not be what makes or breaks the date.
Right.
But it does make me think I was thinking too hard and trying too hard when I was dating.
Okay.
Because I would try to like impress by like picking a restaurant. Oh, you haven't been there? Oh, you've got to try this. And like as if the restaurant being good and me knowing about it
gives you some extra brownie points.
Oh, I'll be a good husband, won't I?
You know how to pick a restaurant.
Yeah. Don't I look a little hotter here? Because you didn't know about this place and you really like the chicken breast? I don't know. It somehow worked out for me.
Yeah.
Against the odds. Thanks for listening to The Hudson Show. Please don't forget to rate and review the podcast.